I'm Holly Beals. I get to be artist, wife, mother. My husband and I live on the central coast of California with our 2 young boys, and I love that I get to be mom and artist. And so I started out in graphic design, and at some point switched over to painting and just haven't looked back. I love it. I typically paint with acrylics, and wanted to take you through a painting of some flowers in a vase. And for this painting, we'll be using acrylics and then incorporating a little bit of collage. So if you like this and have fun with it, I do offer a few more classes through Kara Bullock Art. Kara Bullock is amazing, and she offers a lot of classes through her art school. Just visit hollybeals.com, click on the class link, and there you'll find out more. So anyway, thank you for joining me today for this mini class, and hopefully it'll give you a taste. If you'd like to connect, I'd love to hear from you. You can find me again at hollybeals.com, and I'm also on Instagram at hollybeals. So let's have fun, and thanks so much for being here. To start out, I have my 8x8 wood panel, and this is unprimed, and I have some clear matte medium. I use Nova color, but you can use any matte medium. This one's non-glossy acrylic mixing medium. So that's what I use for the clear coat. I'm simply going to apply 1 clear coat of the matte medium to seal my surface, and then I'll tell you about the high flow medium I use. Colors, I add this into a lot of my paints, just as a way to make the paint a little more fluid. You don't want to add too much water into your paint because it breaks down the binders in the acrylic paints. So to make your paint a little more fluid and to make it last and go a little bit further, I recommend using high flow medium with your paint. So it'll give kind of like a nicer, kind of transparent, depending on how much you add into your paint, it'll make it a little more transparent, and you can really build up those layers that way. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna cover our whole panel, and I am going in and picking up more of that high flow medium and adding it into my paint each time to get a nice semi-transparent layer of color down. Next, let's talk about our color palette for this painting. I wanted to stick with fewer colors, so 6 colors and white is what I'm starting with. So I've got my really light blue background, so I want to be able to use that some more and bring it back into the painting. I've got a peach color, a mustardy yellow, a deep brown, a deep brick red, and a deep blue, and my white. With our colors all ready to go, we'll move on to the next phase, which is our sketch. And the sketch will be done in paint. I'm picking up this brick red color and some of my high flow medium to start my sketch. I am looking at my my vase, and I'm looking at how much space I want my flower arrangement to take up, and I'm just kind of going to lightly sketch around the outline of my flowers to get an idea. Just the outer edges, I'm seeing that the flower arrangement as kind of one unit right now. And I'm just getting the outer edges. I know I want it, I'm fine with it kind of moving off the panel so it can go all the way up. But I just want to get an idea of how much space this is taking up. And then I can go ahead and sketch the vase. So I know I want it to kind of come here. And I'm also keeping in mind that I'd like to have a little bit of a shadow beneath the vase. And so it's looking like, let's see. I'm just trying to get a sense of sizing. This is a small vase. If I'm going to get most of the flowers in, then the vase is quite small. So I think maybe what I need to do is move up a little bit. I'm going to move my vase up, and I'll have more of the flowers moving off of the canvas panel. So I can just adjust as I go, get an idea of the width of the vase. And then I know this is kind of going to be where my shadow comes. I'm kind of going to block in my, I'm imagining this on a table surface. So I will indicate that there. And then what's great about having extra of your background color is you can, as you're sketching, and I often do this, go in and subtract if there's areas that you wanted to erase. You just go in with your background color into the sketch and adjust that way. So that's a fun trick. So I'm getting a better sense of my vase. The proportion, just kind of width to height. Adjusting that a little bit. And then I might just adjust where my flowers are hitting. Okay. So as you can see, this is not very detailed. Now I'm kind of going to plan out my flowers. I know there's kind of this little cluster of little ones here in the front. It could be as simple as these just little spots, blobs. And it's kind of, I'm keeping a light, like there's not a lot of pigment in my brush right now. And then there's this kind of larger flower over here. There's kind of that, a similar one is next to it. And then I've got these white kind of shapes over here. They kind of extend out. kind of want to cut into this a little bit. Came out a little too far. Okay, and then there's some green, really light green, kind of wavy, what are they called? Leaves? Petals? Leaves. Green, light green leaves that are flowing up off the canvas. Okay, now I'm going back to the vase. I want to just modify the shape of it a little bit. So I'm using my background blue, kind of like an eraser, and I'm taking away, cutting into some of the areas where I just want to modify the shape of the vase. And as I fill in this space, I'm also envisioning later on that how I want to layer paint over the top of this vase and bring out some pattern by using the shaper. So I'll use the shaper to scrape away paint from the vase to kind of create a pattern, a lined pattern. So I'm just envisioning that pattern area on my vase, and right now adjusting the shape of it as we're still in kind of this sketch base layer phase. This concludes the base layer and sketch phase of our painting. I hope to see you for the next round. Proceed to the part 2 video.